Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Poison Mist Spray Series Great Muta figure from Bandai Namco. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, this is a great looking figure, and honestly, if I didn't know any better and it wasn't for some of the articulation, I probably would have thought this was an Elite from Mattel, just because of the way it looks and the way it's sculpted, which is, I guess a positive or negative depending on how you look at it, but just overall, very, very solid looking figure. As you can see, I think they did a good job with the physique. Maybe a little thin for Muta at almost any point in his career. But this is obviously very, very early Muta, so he wasn't as bulked up as he was later on. But beyond that, I mean, not a whole ton of paint. Obviously, we got the skin tone plastic for the skin, and then the pants are kind of this lighter red plastic. Some nice, just kind of subtle textures there for the pants. We do get the drawstring here across the waist, which kind of disappears into the back. I don't know if that's how the pants were in real life, but looks a little strange in person, to be honest. Then we get his shoes, which are his boots rather, which are a nice darker red. It's kind of a nice contrast, and again, kind of adds the realism. We do get the whites of the soles for the feet. Then we get his wristbands here with the black and the red. So again, some nice other touches of paint. Very simple though. Then we get the face sculpt, and really nice. Maybe a little flat just because there's no like wash or shading or anything like that, but definitely, it's clearly Muta. They did a great job on the, face paint overall. Just the shade of red and the blacks really just kind of pop out from it. That and the intense stare. Then we get, kind of a very soft hair sculpt, but definitely, it definitely works. Again, it reads fully as Muta, and it's a great Muta figure. So yeah, really good looking overall. When it comes to accessories, we get almost nothing, and that is because a lot of the budget here was clearly spent on the aforementioned Poison Mist spray. And so what we get here is an alternate head sculpt with this spray bottle at the bottom. I've already kind of detached it here just because I didn't want to do that on camera. So I guess for more background, this head sculpt just kind of pops right out, so you can see some of the inner workings there. You can see just kind of a hollow body here, which works the articulation, which we'll look at in the next section. But there's this little groove, so there is a specific place for that to go. And that does affect the articulation, which we'll talk about more in a minute. But for the mist, so we get this piece, the head comes off separately from the top of the bottle, and then we get this with the little basin. So I will show how that works in a second. I'm actually going to fill up that basin, and we're going to look at it and how it works on the figure itself. So 1 second, we'll be right back. And now we're back, and as you can see, I have filled the basin. We can see the water in there, pardon me. And we get our head sculpt here, and the instructions do say to make sure the mouth is open. So as you can see, that is articulated there. We do get some articulation here at the bottom of the, no we don't, I'm sorry, just a separate piece. Then we just connect that. You can see the port in there. Put that on. So as you can see, it just kind of sprays. That is hilarious. And this just kind of sits in the body itself. Bring it down, and if you want to spray, there you go. I didn't put any dye in there. I probably should have, but yeah. So that is the action feature. It's amazing. I was sold on that alone. That's so ridiculous. So yeah, that will do it for accessories. Articulation balance here are very interesting, very good, but got some interesting points, especially because of the action feature that we just looked at. Freestanding kicks, pretty much no problem, which is always excellent. Then for the head sculpt, we are on a ball joint here under the head, and then we saw the head was on its own barbell joint. So here's the thing, the head comes out super, super easy, even going down into that channel. If it's straight up, like you have absolutely no crunch going on. So we can look up about that far, down about that far. It's not great. We do get some tilt and of course rotation. This is affected by where it is in the body. So I guess we'll look at that now. It's usually out of order, but there's an ab crunch, which is fantastic, but the head cannot be seated all the way down, because if it is, let's see if I can get that properly going here. There, click in place, like that's all you're getting for forward. So that's it definitely limits the articulation there. So you got to kind of pop it out a bit, and that's what gives you more of your crunch. We do get some butterfly joints. So forward and back, not really up and down. You can see we're kind of in a pin coming out to the shoulders, which come out into a really nice T. We do get bicep swivel, double jointed elbows folding completely in half. We get hinge and swivel for the hands. Then again, we just look at the crunch. So again, that is very much affected by the neck or whatever headpiece is in. We do get swivel at the waist. We get hips come out to about here, which is actually really disappointing. I thought these were going to go a lot further. Not only that, but they are exceptionally loose. And I have added joint fix here, or water-based polyurethane. I think that's right. So these are tighter than they were, but still, like, yeah, that's a little disappointing. I'm not really a fan of that. And then our front kick is a nice 90, so that's good. We do get thigh swivel, double jointed knees bring us to there. Then our feet are on a barbell, I believe. So we're getting a little bit of point where we are running into the pants, a little bit of forward. Get some nice rocker though, and a toe hinge. So that will do it for articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here he is with some Mattel and some Jazzwares. With some other wrestling lines. With some domestics. With some imports. With some monsters. Finally with our Articulate Icons Oni and yours truly in human form as the Valverse Action Force figure. So my final thoughts on the Poison Mist Spray Series Great Muta figure from Bandai Namco is that this is a really cool figure. Great concept, especially with the action feature. Would have been nice, especially considering the price point of this, if it came with more accessories. Not only that, but again, not just not having the accessories, but the loose hips and the lack of range, I guess, in those hips also kind of factors into my judgment here, where I'm gonna say basically, especially because Mattel has revealed that we're both, I think, getting two different Ultimate Edition Mutas, both like an old school Muta and a like more recent one from when he started wearing the mask and stuff like that. Basically, unless you're a really huge Muta fan, he is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, so I jumped all over this. But unless you're a huge fan, this is probably an easy one to pass up. Again, just because the QC with the legs and the novelty of the action feature is probably gonna be lost on a number of people. So I think if you're looking for a really solid, just like straight up wrestling figure, wait for the Mattel releases. But if you want all things Muta and you just really like the idea of the mist spray feature here, absolutely jump on it. It's still available from various online retailers, and I got mine from, I think, Kimura Toys, so I'll leave a link or two in the description below so you can pick this up if you are interested. That being said, I hope you found this review informative and some entertaining, and if that's the case, hope to see you back here. But really, at the end of the day, I just hope you're well. Hope that all of your toy dreams come true, and most importantly, I hope that you and yours stay weird, simians.